Hey everybody, welcome to our all new video with Matt. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cool little 4x4 solar lanterns right here. So stick around, I'm going to show you how. Alright guys, to get started today, this is all you're going to need is 4x4 lumber. You'll need some solar light stakes, a circle saw or miter saw. You'll need a drill, a speed square, a palm sander. You'll need a 3/4 inch spade bit, a tape measure, speed square, a pen or pencil, and paint and stain is optional if you want to do that. And the cut sheet on your 4x4 lumber is we're going to cut one at 30 inches, 24 inches, and 18 inches. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with cutting our 4x4 lumber. Now you don't have to use the measurements that I'm using. You can make these taller, you can make them shorter. It's up to you for whatever you need. I'm just using these measurements for this video and for my project. So I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to measure out to 30 inches and I'm going to mark that. And then on my second one, I want to cut this one right down the line right here of 18 and 24. That way each board has 6 inches down step. Right, so like I said, we got one marked right here at 30 inches. Just gonna take my speed square right there, go ahead and mark that just like that, and then I went ahead and measured out 24, which puts my mark right here, and then that leaves me with an 18-inch piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these marked right here. Now, depending on how you're going to be cutting these boards, if you're going to be using a miter saw, you might have a blade that could just go through it in one size, right? I'm not using a miter saw today. I'm going to be using my circle saw right here, guys. So what you'll need to do if you're going to be using a circle saw is once you make your marks right here and here, flip them one time just like that, and go ahead and remark those, guys. That way your circle saw usually won't cut all the way through a 4x4. You'll need to make 2 separate runs on those, guys. So go ahead, get your pieces marked. Like I said, I got my 24, I got my 18. So I'm gonna go ahead and just show y'all real quick what I mean. So I got those marked on that side. There's my 24-inch mark right there. I'll take the speed square and go ahead and pop that line. Now I've got 2 sides marked right here for whenever I use my circle saw. Same thing with this. We're going to go with the 30 inches right there, guys. I can just pull that, mark that 30-inch mark, speed square, and now I've got 2 sides marked right there that I can use with my circle saw. So let's go ahead and get our pieces cut now. Alright, so we got all 3 of our boards cut right here, guys. So if you used a miter saw, you probably got a nice flat cut right on the get-go, right? So you're lucky, right? If you, like me, used a skill saw just like that, you're probably going to have just a slightly off little piecings right here. Like you can see that the saw did different as I turned it, went the other way, right? So all you need to do is just take you some 80 grit sandpaper and just sand that until you get that nice and smooth. So go ahead, if you have any rough edges like that, just use a little palm sander with some 80 grit and just go ahead and smooth all of that down. Alright, so once you've got all of your ends nice and smooth and everything, guys, now you can take your little solar lights right here. As you can see, I picked these up at my local dollar store, guys, for just $1 a piece. So what you want to do now is, most of the time these kind of lights, now I'm not going to say all of them, they come just like that, right? And then you can twist this little thing off and that gives you a little spike. Say if you wanted to stick that in the ground or something like that, but I'm not going to use that spike because they're going to be going into the 4x4s right here, guys, right? So what you want to do though is you need to match up a drill bit so that you can get the size right here. Now you don't want to go over because then it'll be loose and wobbly. You want it to be real snug and tight. So what you want to do is just hold your piece. Like I said, not every one of these are going to be the same, so don't go by mine. Always check and measure. So what I'd like to do is at the one edge, I'll stick it like right here at the 2, just so you can see it better than being right against right here. So I'll just put it right here at the 2 mark, right on there. As you can see, that is telling me that from side to side, that's about 3/4, right? So before you drill into your main pieces, if you got any leftovers left, such as like this piece right here, you know, that we're probably just not going to use, what you need to do is test it, right? Just take you a 3/4 bit, drill that hole down in just a hair. You ain't gotta go all the way too deep or nothing like that, guys. And you just want to see if it'll fit in snugger, and that will let you know if you need to go up a size or do you need to go down a size. But you're gonna want these to be nice and snug to the point where you almost have to just push it and force it into the hole, right? So let's go ahead and get our holes drilled now. Alright guys, so before we just go ahead and drill a hole, we want to mark our center mark, right? So we all know today's standards that a 4x4 isn't truly 4x4 inches, right? Most of the time it's going to be 3.5, just like as you can see right here, pretty close anyway. So I'm going to go with the old 1 3/4, right? So what I've done is I've measured over right here and I've marked the line at 1 3/4, right? And then I'm going to come over to this side. I'm going to find 1 3/4, and I'm going to mark that just like that. Put a crosshair right there. Highlight that a little better for you guys, but you can see that is the center of our piece, right? And that is what we will need to drill down into. So what I'm going to do is take my little 3/4 spade bit right here, guys. I'm going to line that up just like so, right on that point, so that we're dead center, and you want to keep it nice and straight as possible. And go ahead and get it started just like that, and then just go ahead and drill it down. Now you don't want to go all the way. You want to make sure that you're not going to go so deep. Well, you don't want it that deep. You don't want to go the entire length of that right there, right? So I would say to about right when you get to the notch right here, that's going to be plenty deep. That's going to give it plenty to set down inside of, right? So I'm going to go ahead and show you one now. Go ahead and drill this. That is plenty deep enough. Go ahead and clean out all that. And then you can go ahead and kind of see that that's going to fit in there nice and snug, and even have to push it in and give it a twist just like that and take a step back. So now you guys can see what that's going to look like, right? And you'll have to straighten it up a little bit, just a hair, as you go and do your pieces right there, guys. But make sure you get those nice and straight. Go ahead and do that on your other 2 boards now. Alright guys, there we go. We got our little project complete right there. Now there's several things you can do at this point. You can drill all these pieces with some long screws and lock them together. You can leave them individualized just like this. That way you can kind of move them around any way that you like. It's up to you guys. Put them all over your porch, anywhere you want. And here in a second, we'll show what these look like at nighttime. Alright guys, there you have it. It is now dark time. Our lights are lit up right here, guys. It puts out a pretty good bit of light, especially if it's really dark outside. Like, it's not completely dark yet, as you can see, but it is almost there, enough for the lights to cut on. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful week. Peace.